These two brothers just became the luckiest treasure hunters in container blind box history, the Ooze brothers. A new batch of detained shipping containers just went up for public auction at the docks. According to the auction host, these containers were originally headed for Japan, but since the recipient failed to pay the shipping fees, they sat at the port for months before finally being put up for sale. But when the container door opened, everyone was stunned. It was packed full of plain cardboard boxes, no labels, no branding. Treasure hunters were scratching their heads, unable to figure out what was actually being shipped. That's when Matthew noticed the words Hydro Flap written on one of the boxes. He also knew that shipping goods from here to Japan would cost at least $10,000. After thinking it through, he guessed it must be some high-end water sports equipment. The Ooze brothers weren't sure either, but their gut told them this container was worth a fortune. They even speculated it might have something to do with a marine engine. The auction kicked off soon after, starting at $1,000 as usual. Bidders quickly began raising the price in $1,000 increments, but Matthew wasn't about to let it go so easily. He immediately raised the bid to $10,000. At that point, the bid had already surpassed the cost of shipping. The higher the price went, the greater the risk of losing money. But the Ooze brothers didn't back down. They kept bidding until they hit $15,500. And with that, they won the container at a steep price. So the big question is, what exactly is inside? As soon as the auction ended, the Ooze brothers popped open the container, and bam! Turns out it was packed with gear related to surfing. The brothers were instantly pumped. Just one of those surf assist machines alone was worth a good chunk of cash. They tore into more boxes and found stacks of board shorts and swim trunks, easily worth several $1,000s. But the real shock came just moments later. They couldn't believe their eyes. The container was loaded with surfboards, box after box of them. That alone was enough to break even and still turn a decent profit. But the real goldmine was yet to come. While inspecting the boards, they stumbled upon one that looked different. The artwork on it was unlike anything they'd ever seen. The brothers had a gut feeling it had to be special, so they rushed it over to a local surf gear reseller for an appraisal. To their surprise, the shop owner recognized it immediately. It was a custom board he had painted himself over 10 years ago. He explained that this surfboard had a unique psychedelic design, the kind that die-hard surfers go crazy for. He offered to buy it back on the spot for $8,000. The Ooze brothers were over the moon. One surfboard alone worth $8,000? Combine that with everything else they pulled from the container, and after subtracting their $15,500 investment, they still walked away with a whopping $25,000 in profit. Another day, another lucky auction win for the Ooze brothers.